So I have to vent a little bit. It's the day after the Gunner Ponzi fight, and I saw the video on Reddit of the eye pokes, and you know, I'm a big Gunner fan. I gotta admit my bias right out the gate. But during the fight, like, you know, the announcer said that he was striking like a cobra, and his footwork and his striking was great, you know. And I saw during the fight that he was rubbing his eye and kind of looking away, and you know, that was kind of the beginning of the end, I realized, you know. But after seeing the video on Reddit, seeing the 4 eye pokes or whatever, depending if you count the double as 2, you know, and the potential for that one punch to be the fact that he had his open finger, you know, those are hard to tell or not, you know. But the initial eye poke and then the one where he's posting up against the fence, to me, are just so obvious, you know. Intent aside, like, you know, it is like you should be punished for that, no doubt in my mind. And I understand that the referee didn't see it and that it was a quick thing, you know, but like, that's the point that we record these fights, is to be able to review them. That's the whole reason we have a commission, to be able to go over the rules. And everybody's talking about, these haters saying it's happened before and that they're not going to overturn it. You know, just because a prior travesty has occurred does not mean that it should set the precedent for future travesties to be built upon. You know, the fact is that we see in the replay that he cheated, and that it looks intentional. You know, the fact that he committed 4 fouls in a matter of a minute or so, the fact that there was the chance that there was a fence grab and he grabbed his shorts, like, it really seems like right now that this Ponzi, like, the name is perfect, is like he's scheming people. Like, he seems like that he literally read and wrote the book on cheating, you know. Like, and I've never seen the guy. I don't know the guy. You know, I watched some little clips of his prior fights, and you know, it all seems you know, clean and clear. But it's not until that you're on the big stage that everything's examined with a critical eye do you get to really finally realize that these people, these fighters, have bad habits that could be construed as cheating. You know, he literally looked like he was like trying to finger bang fucking Gunner's eye socket, like the first time a teenager has the chance to stick his hand down a girl's pants. Like, literally, like, he looked like he was trying to scoop that motherfucker's eyeballs out. You know, maybe I'm exaggerating, whatever, but the reality is that, like, that affected the fight. And before the eye gouge, it looked like Gunner was running shit. I mean, from what I've heard, like, it seems like he has more fucking fouls than he does actual significant blows in the fight. Like, the fact that people aren't like up and rioting about this shit, like, I understand it. If you're not an MMA fan, you don't give a fuck. But this is a horrible precedent. He cheated, you know, and that, like, people are saying that this should be, you know, a no contest. Like, to me, I think this should be a fucking, like, disqualified, you know, fined and fucking suspended, you know, like this should be the example that the UFC uses to implement new gloves. Like, this is unacceptable. Like, he literally could have caused him brain damage, you know, for that. Like, there's no way to know if those shots would have landed. And it didn't look like the shots were going to land if he didn't cheat. You know, cheaters shouldn't be allowed, you know, in a just and moral world. You know, cheaters should not be able to fucking, like, win like that. You know, like, it's when good men do nothing that evil prevails, and that this is the opportunity for the commission to implement a new rule, to at least make this a no contest, so that this isn't a blemish against Gunner's career, and then hopefully to set some sort of precedent to allow or not allow things like this, to prevent, you know, injuries and danger and significant, like, brain damage to their fighters. Because to me, like, I understand the ref couldn't see it, it was that fast. You know, he needs to keep a better eye and work on his positioning, but that's something we need to work on. But what we can do now is try to let the commission know that this is unacceptable and that there needs to be something done about this. And I'm not the commission, I'm not the one to make these decisions, but I can give my opinion, and that's all this is that this is unacceptable and that it should not be allowed to continue.